Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome back to the YouTube channel that belongs to us, the 3Js. My name is Joe na leo ninafanya content peke yangu, and ukiwaiona ninafanya content peke yangu, just know a story is coming up. Joe yako huko, a little bit busy, but I'm here to talk about something I just remembered. But before we get into that, let me show you something. So let's go outside here, and I'm gonna show you what I want to share with you guys. This is the gate, and as immediately you come in, utapatana na these two things here, my flowers. These are the flowers that I was cultivating before we moved, and that one is dying. And this is the jerrycan that I use to water my flowers. Those are the stinging nettles, and that is my pineapple. Before you comment, guys, I know my garden is not the best and I'm not proud of it, so I decided, you know what, I'm going to do something about it. And so I've been looking for plants to put here kurembesha hii mandhari kidogo. Then I remembered something. I remembered of a story of a boy I knew who died. So wacha niandike hii camera hapa and we get into the story. So I'm gonna take you a bit back to the time I was a young boy. This story happened when I was about 6, I believe 6 to 8, not more than 8 years old. And we used to stay in a very humble neighborhood back in Nakuru, free area for those who are familiar. So I don't know, okay, nowadays we have different styles of apartment where they are progressing vertically. For us, we didn't have that. I don't think kulikuwa na nyumba za ghorofa mingi, so you find most houses were just one row, and then you go to the next row, even to maybe 3 rows, and then that's it. So where we were staying, we had only 2 rows. Each row contained about 15 houses in a row, just like that. So that tells you that we were many families in that same compound, and families have kids, so so many kids from different ages, but I believe the oldest were teenagers, and then sisi hapo katikati, and then there were small kids. So I remember 2 kids specifically. I think they were 3 or 2 years old, if I'm not wrong. And the reason why I remember, and this is the only memory I have about that child, is because I remember one day I was coming from school, and then I found a woman screaming. She was screaming and laughing at the same time. It was hysterical. I don't know why she reacted that way, but this is the thing. These 2 young boys had gone into the house and taken milk, because we used to be delivered for milk every evening. So this woman had boiled the milk and put it in a plastic jug so that it could be used that evening and probably the next morning before the delivery man could come again. So amechemsha maziwa, she has put it in a jug, a plastic jug, and then akaiacha hapo hivi, and a bread, because everything tuko tumejipanga. Siku hizi unaamka unaenda kuchukua breakfast asubuhi. Everything used to be done in the evening. When she came back, she found her son, who was about 2 to 3 years old, and the friend mwenye nawapatia story yake, seated outside on a step, the doorstep. Walikuwa nasaidiana kukunywa maziwa with the bread. So they had opened up the bread yote, and then they were eating na wanashikiana jug, wanasaidiana kukunywa. It was hysterical, but it was also a painful moment for this woman, because she was screaming and laughing at the same time, because breakfast was gone. Basically, it was gone. So this is the memory I have of this child, and that's how I came to notice of this child. And kidogo being a 6-year-old, unacheza na watoto wadogo, it used to be fun. When we used to play, they would come and join, so tukajuana hivo. And I remember one day my mom came into the house looking a bit sad. She used to go to work early in the morning and come back a bit late. So this one time she came in a bit sad, and the only thing she said was that, do you know that child wa ile nyumba? So our neighbor, this small 3-year-old child, of course, situnamjua. What happened? She said the boy is sick, and she went on to tell us the story, because I never saw the boy when he was sick, but this is what the neighbors said, and this is the information my mom had at that time. She told us amefura mwili mzima. Apparently this boy had ingested something, and nobody knew what this kid had eaten. And being the 90s, you know, people were very skeptical, and of course, if anything happened to your child or you, it will obviously be blamed on the bad relative who didn't want anything to do with you, or your bad neighbors, vitu kama hizo. And it took a while before they took this child to the hospital. But by the time they were taking the child to the hospital, he was in a very bad state. His tongue had swollen to the point of filling the mouth that it was even hard to swallow saliva. His lips had swollen, and the entire body had swollen, as if, I don't know what I can equate it to, someone who had been stung by 1,000 bees. So basically this kid was in a lot of pain. So he's taken to the hospital, and the next day we wake up, go to school, everything is normal, and we are hoping that this kid is going to feel well, and we are going to know the root cause of what this child had ingested, because people are thinking maybe alipewa chakula na a bad neighbor or something like that. Nobody actually knows what is happening, so there's a lot of speculation. And we didn't have phones, so motion ilikuwa inatambaa, spreading like wildfire. We go to school, come back, and we hear the sad news that this boy had actually passed on. A day after ingesting whatever he had ingested, he passed on. Of course, it's a sad moment for the entire community, and people are gathering together, sending their condolences to this family. And I remember that thing actually destroyed the mother to this child, because she hakuwa anaambilika kitu, because I remember she was a very peaceful woman, very nice, but she all of a sudden changed, didn't want to talk to people. I think at some point she went away. I'm not sure kama alienda kwao, but we didn't see her for a very long time, but this was after the burial of the son. Of course, when something like that happens, medical practitioners are involved, and a postmortem must be done, so that to find out the root cause of the death. And it was very simple thing. It was I don't know, it was the saddest or the most stupid thing you could ever imagine. I've told you that we used to live in rows. So there was row 1, row 2, we were on row 2, and the kid was row 2, about 5 houses down the line. And I remember their house was the most beautiful house I can say I ever saw on the outside, because I had never been inside their house. And the reason why I'm saying this is because it was super decorated, and it was decorated by different kind of flowers. And one of the flower I remember was this pot flower which normally have big leaves. And I came to do a research later on, and I knew what the name is when I was bigger, and it's called an elephant ear plant. If you don't know what it looks like, I'm gonna put it here, and so that's how it looks like. And they had like 3 of these plants outside their doorstep, na zilikuwa mingi. So what happened, this child alitembea nje, and that day I don't know what got into that child's mind, and he decided, you know what, let me have a taste of these leaves, and akakula, and that was the cause of his death. And I remember after that it was established that hii maua ndio imemuua. Maua zote kwa nyumba yao zilikatwa, zikachomwa, The father was angry. Akaiba hata akatema was a neighbor. Any house that had elephant ear plant, karibu hata akatekate without even asking the people. And people got scared. We didn't know that actually this plant could kill a child. So when I was deciding, when I was thinking about decorating this area with flowers, I don't know for what reason. I was talking to my wife Joy, and we were talking of different kind of flowers you would have, and they have these elephant ear plants at their home in Ngong, and we had actually spoken of going and taking some and planting them here. And then I remembered, wait a damn minute, when I was 6, a child actually died because of this plant. And I went to the internet to actually confirm that the story matches, and I googled elephant ear plant, and it described exactly what happened. The side effect of eating or ingesting this is irritation to the body and swelling, and it's poisonous. So maybe it may not kill, but you don't want to take that chance, because you see someone could be stung by a bee na anapona, mwingine anako stung by a bee and they die, unfortunately. So people react differently to this. So I don't know what caused this boy's body to react in such a manner. Maybe alikuwa na an issue or anything, or maybe it's just the plant itself. Maybe the amount of plant alikula ilikuwa mingi. But anyway, the boy passed on, and it is a very, very sad story. So when I remember that story, I said, you know what, I'm gonna wait a bit. Baby Gianna is soon starting to crawl or maybe walk, and she does not know any better. I know more than her, and it is my job as a parent to protect her. So I'm doing a little bit of research to know which kind of plants that I'm actually doing to plant here, not just because they are beautiful, but actually take time to research. And I want you, our viewer, to also give us your opinion. What story do you know, or which plants are you aware that they can or have caused harm, especially to the children? And what plants do you have at your home which you think are 100% safe and are children friendly? You can put them in the comment section, and then we can look at them, because I'm actually looking for plants, but I'm doing a lot of research. I'd rather have a boring compound than have a dead child. That's my take. So let us know about yours. So that's the story, and I just remembered that I thought maybe I can share with you. And for those who don't know, this plant is actually poisonous and it could kill, because I know of one case that has happened. So until next time, cheers guys, take care, be kind to one another, share the video if it's helpful, subscribe, and we love you.